excited. Welcome back to Diary of an Ifbb Bikini Pro, Season 1, Episode 2. We are about, I think, like 4, almost 5 weeks into prep now. And this week was the first time where I was like, you are prepping. You know, when you just like, you look at your to-do list and you're like, holy crap, how am I gonna get all of this done? I am so excited to be back with you guys today because I think I said this last time, but I have been holding myself back from doing this series for so long because I was like, I don't have a fancy camera and I don't have this and I don't have the time. But I realized how unfulfilled I felt by just having it on my to-do list or on my dream list. And not taking action against it. So I'm back again and I'm committed to being consistent because I want to document this prep for me and for you because it's interesting for both of us and I think it'll be a really fun experience to take you guys along for the journey. Ooh, that sun is bright. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys the updates from my check-ins when I take my videos tomorrow. So I'll post it up somewhere here. And then I will talk about how my nutrition changed and how my plan changed, because your plan doesn't change often, training plan that is, doesn't change that often, but Shelby actually gave me an entirely new program last Monday, and that's really exciting. So I'm going to tell you guys all about it, and then also I'll talk about how we adjusted my nutrition, so how my macros have changed. Since we talked last week, my training plan is completely new. Now the split is day 1, glutes, alternating between the different ones that she has programmed into my Trainerize app. Day 2 is shoulders, again, alternating between the different shoulder workouts that Shelby's programmed in the app. Day 3 is yoga. I used to do hot yoga and I adored it, but I'm trying to save money right now. So I quit that membership, and again, Shelby has yoga YouTube options in the app that she recommends doing. So do that on the 3rd day, which is my Wednesday. Day 4 is upper glutes, again, alternating between the different ones that she has programmed in there. Day 5 is back and biceps, alternating between the different options she has in the app. And day 6 is glute and hamstrings. You're probably like, damn, this girl hits glutes a lot. Yes, big fact. Big bikini fact, like, I hate glutes a lot. And then day 7 is arms. And again, for glutes and hamstrings and arms, you can alternate between all the different ones that Shelby has programmed into the Trainerize app, which I love. So I can show you guys kind of on one of these sides what the Trainerize app looks like, but it tracks everything in there. It has my check-in photos, all of my weights and measurements, all of my cardio is tracked in there, all of my training, etc. And it's also where I chat with Shelby, and it is what everybody on Fit Body Fusion has. And I've had this since I started with Fit Body Fusion and Shelby back in 2018. So like, I am very familiar with and happy with this app, and I love tracking my progress there. I like that everything is all in one central location. Because I've heard that sometimes you can, like, some coaches use email or WhatsApp or all of these different things, and I really like how streamlined the process is. I just want to give you guys that information because sometimes people are like, how do you communicate with your coach? How do you send check-ins? All of that jazz, and it is all an app. So easy peasy. And it's pretty much all I've ever had. Like, the only way I've ever done it, so it's the only way I really know. And all the other ways I'm like, ooh, sounds complicated. I know that that's probably not the case. Like, I know a ton of people who check in via email and all that, and it's simple and easy to do. I think that I'm probably just spoiled and super the convenience. I'm just very used to it since it's all I've ever known. So that is my prep training program right now. And then, you know, same thing. I have like all of the daily things that I'm supposed to do. So, you know, warming up my glutes and activation before lower body days. I also warm up the other body parts that I train before I actually train them. I just do lightweight usually, kind of like feeder sets up to my working sets for the first couple exercises, and then I'm good to go. Vacuums daily. I have been doing this, so look at me go. I was not super consistent with that before, but I realized in my posing videos, which I will post here, my core is really not as controlled as I would like. And I know that all of the top pros that I look up to as well do this. And obviously it works. And I've been told to do this for so long. So I'm committing to being more consistent about it. And again, another really cool thing with this series is that I'll be able to track that and see it within each check-in video and YouTube video, how I'm progressing with it. So I am excited, and I want to make sure that I keep the variables the same so that this experiment is successful. Other things to do daily, posing daily. I have definitely been posing a lot more. Daily, I would not say I did that. I've been doing it daily yet. Last week was really busy with work, so I missed some days. It is what it is. I'm gonna be better. And oh my god, the door just closed, and Owen, my boyfriend's in the other room, and I don't know why. I was like, there's a ghost. Anyways, whatever. So 1 gallon of water daily, and stretching pan daily. And my stretching has been progressing since last time we talked, or like my flexibility is coming back a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. My right leg front split was a little rough, and I've been working on it, so it's getting a lot better, and I can definitely show the progression with that at some point. And then I'm gonna move on to my middle split, because that one is gonna take some time. I can feel that it's gonna take some time. I'm really consistent with that and proud of that. Keeping sodium the same and keeping my fiber consistent as well, that I mentioned in the previous video. Moving on to nutrition, that's the perfect segue. My macros have dropped because even though I was hitting the plan consistently, I wasn't losing at the rate that we want us to. Make sure that I keep losing and that I stay on track for our planned show, which I have not talked about yet. I'm just saying how many weeks I am into prep versus saying what show I'm doing, because I don't really want to put added pressure on myself of keeping that close to my chest, because one, I want to get on stage when I know I'm ready. We have a goal show, but I don't like the added pressure of being like, ooh, she's 8 weeks out, or she's 10 weeks out, she doesn't look 10 weeks out. So I'm kind of keeping that to myself, and it's not to be like, ooh, secretive. It's just more to like maintain my peace of mind and focus on the journey as opposed to counting down to that specific day, because I think that it adds pressure that honestly I don't need. So if you know, God forbid, I'm not ready for that show, I do another show. I want to go on stage when I feel 100% confident. Competitive is relative, because anybody can show up on any stage, and it's all about who shows up that day and if they were peaked well, etc. But I want to show up and compete when I feel 100% my best. So I'm not sharing my stage date or my target show date, because I want to maintain my peace of mind for now. TBD if I end up sharing it, but I think I'm gonna hold that close to my chest for now. Macros have dropped. I'm at 150 protein, 185 carb, and 45 fat. A little bit of drop from last week, but we are still rolling, and I honestly still feel really satiated. I do feel hungry throughout the day. You should feel hungry to a certain degree, but it's not all of the time yet. I haven't hit that point in prep where I'm like, I'm starving 24/7, you know? And also I think that when you progress slowly and you just kind of shave off a little bit week by week, you're kind of accustomed to it. It kind of becomes normal. It's like the amount that you're used to eating, so it doesn't feel drastic. Over time, you know, you keep dropping, keep rolling, and then sometimes somebody asks you like, what are your calories at? And then I don't even remember, because I just adjust the amounts in my Fitness Pal and copy it over day to day and just adjust down, and then I look and I see what my carbs, protein, fats and calories are at. Like, at least this happened in 2020, and I was like, oh my God, I had no idea they were that low. Because you're just kind of accustomed to it and you just keep dropping them. And I would never really look at the totals on a day-to-day basis. I would just put them in my plan, and then I would copy that onto the next day, onto the next day, onto the next day, and keep rolling with it. I don't really like getting too caught up in those details, especially because I feel like then you feel like you have this like scarcity mindset. And I've really been working on, and this is something I've tried to maintain ever since I started competing, but reminding myself that it's not about scarcity. Like, this is all things you're doing to reach a goal. You are putting the scarcity on yourself. Like, you're choosing this. You are limiting yourself so that you can reach a certain goal. This is all like a privilege. So just thinking about it from that perspective of not scarcity mindset, but really an attitude of gratitude, and knowing that like you chose this is your passion. I really like the feeling of digging deep. Of course, you know, it's healthier to diet on more calories and all that, but bottom line, I think it's all about mindset and not focusing too much on what you don't have, but all the things that you do have. So like the fact that you're able-bodied and you can train, and the fact that you have the money to prep, and the fact that like you're doing what you love. And if you don't love this, like, don't do it. So those are the things I try and focus on, and maintaining that attitude of gratitude throughout the process. Of course, there's times that I'll get caught up and feel like I'm not, you know, leaning out enough, or I'm not this enough, or I don't feel as strong this week. And it can be easy to spiral, but just getting back to that mindset of the gratitude and the privilege that comes with this process, and really kind of savoring every moment, even those moments that you're really digging deep. When I look back, that's what makes me feel most fulfilled, you know? So it's kind of a ramble, but that's my mindset on all of this. And, you know, that's why when people say like, oh my God, that's all you're eating, I'm like, yeah, but I chose it. So it is what it is. Oh my goodness. I forgot to tell you guys my updates to cardio. So I still am doing LISS 5 sessions of 30 minutes each, keeping my heart rate at or above 130 the entire time. I can post up some pictures or videos of my Whoop sessions. And then what has been updated, and poof, this is like a killer in a good way. I love the feeling of feeling like an athlete. I did this today. 2 HIIT sessions per week, 8 rounds each, and 10 minutes of steady state immediately after. So not only is it 8 rounds now instead of 6, Shelby also increased the on period. So like the high intensity period is at 30 seconds instead of 20 seconds. So it's 5-minute warm up, and then 8 rounds of 30 seconds on 1 minute and 40 seconds low intensity, and then you do that 8 times, and then you do 10 minutes of steady state immediately after. And I do that at an incline. So I did that today. I was dripping sweat, and I will say that towards like the end of the 30 seconds, I am dead. I also I don't like to grab on the handles and then like pull my feet off. I like to, I'm on the treadmill where you can like hit 12 and then hit the lower number, so like 12, and then I'll hit 3. And as I'm slowing down, I'm staying on the treadmill, so I'm slowing myself down with the speed of the treadmill. And I feel like that is also tiring in and of itself, because I don't ever stop. Like, I don't ever grab the handle wheels and the side bar things and get off. I just keep running and then slow down and speed up and slow down and speed up. And it's a killer. It is an absolute killer. And I do it on the days that I train arms or shoulders. So shoulders on my day 2 and arms on day 7. So that was today, because I don't like to do HIIT necessarily on the same day that I train glutes. So yes, I am training glutes tomorrow, but I don't like to do it on the same exact day. Probably I'm never like fully recovered by the next day. But I still feel like my recovery is pretty high right now. And if anything is, you know, like if it's really too much, I'll tell Shelby, but I perform pretty well with it. I still feel like I get great training sessions in on the other days, and I'm able to push the weight. So until that changes, I'm gonna keep rolling with this and stay with the plan as prescribed by Shelby. That was like a really weird way of saying it. I will stick to the plan as prescribed. Some other fun updates. So yesterday I spent the morning editing the last video, which I haven't posted yet, and I'm really excited to share it. We went for a walk and got coffee. Coffee is like savior during prep, especially in relationships. Going for a walk and getting coffee is like a date for me during prep. And it was beautiful outside in San Francisco yesterday, so we went out and got coffee, and it was a really nice day. And then we stopped and got Owen some lunch. That's my boyfriend. I got him some lunch and then came back. So all in all, it was a really nice Saturday. Today I was posing and training and doing abs and doing HIIT, and honestly a lot of it was dedicated to prep things. And then we went for a walk, and we are watching The Last of Us now. So I'm gonna wrap up this video and then go hang out with my boyfriend for the evening. But I am really excited to be back. I am happy that I'm able to share these updates weekly, and I cannot wait for the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them below and I'll answer them in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scouts.